Hey everyone, I'm Lindsey Smith here with Cam Johnson, and you guys submitted your questions, so now it's time to answer them. Cam, we got a little NAU mailbag for you, and the first question, Jada wants to know, who is your biggest inspiration and who drove you towards your NBA career?
I would say my brothers and my dad. In terms of inspiration, I think we all kind of inspire each other, and it's through a little bit of, like friendly banter or maybe some unfriendly banter, but we go at each other a little bit and we push each other, and sometimes it gets a little bit too competitive and too comparative, but I think in the end it kind of all makes us want to be our best, and my dad definitely did a lot for us to be in the situation.
You know, that set up this next question perfectly because Alejandro asked if you have any funny stories or memories of your family getting ultra competitive when you were growing up.
Okay, I have a few. So one goes way, way back. I think we were playing apples to apples. This is a long time ago, and we're playing this game, and it just got so competitive, and people were cheating, and my dad kept trying to influence people's answers, and everybody was getting upset, and so kind of every time we play a game like that now, it ends up the same way. And then another time, this is probably the worst, we were playing a 3-on-3 game. This is early in, when I was early in college, and I was coming off an injury, so I wasn't really like trying super hard, but I forget exactly what the teams were, but I know my mom was on my team, and I know my little brother, Puff, knocked her over at one point during the game.
Oh, that's not
And
okay.
I got so mad at him. I'm like, how are you going to run up on your mom and foul her to the point where you knock her over? I'm like, that's terrible. So we were just going back and forth, and we kept saying, nah, keep playing, and the score got probably into the, maybe into the 90s or 100s.
Wow.
We just kept going because nobody wanted to be like, oh, it's over, we lost. So the losing team would be like, come on, don't stop playing now. And it just got so competitive, and people were getting mad at each other and yelling. And I feel like any game we play now is just, it ends in some fireworks.
All right, 2 follow-up questions. Is Mom okay? Was she fine at
Mom
the end
was
of that?
fine.
Okay.
She's a fighter.
And then who won? Do you remember?
No, I think my team actually lost, which is pretty upsetting.
My bad.
It was a
Didn't mean to bring that back up.
There's a lot of mismatches. You see my youngest brother, Braylon, he's a mismatch. Anybody he's guarding, they just go at him. But he's getting better now.
Okay.
Hope he doesn't hear that and get mad at me.
I mean, this was a few years ago,
Yeah.
so, give him time to grow. All right, Alex asked, what's rookie life like? Do the vets make you do anything for them?
We got really good vets. They treat us really well. They don't torture us by any means, and make life extra hard on Ty, Jalen, Jared, and I. We got to do some odd jobs every now and then, like go grab something before a flight, or just make sure towels are in everybody's seat and stuff like that. But it's been pretty good so far, and I'm appreciative of our vets.
Jeff asked if you have any special shooting drills that you do to help keep your technique sharp.
A lot of form shooting. I think the biggest thing keeping technique sharp is sometimes just going through little self-checks. So sometimes it might be, hand placement on the ball. Sometimes it might be focusing on follow-through. Sometimes it might just be focusing on having my eye on the rim. That was one that was recent when I was missing some shots, and then I went back to the form shooting. I'm like, I'm taking my eye off the rim too much. So kind of just refocus on that. So it kind of depends on what's going on, but just a lot of self-check and a lot of form shooting.
All right, Damien wants to know, would you ever like to compete in the All-Star 3-point contest one day?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I always thought it'd be fun to go out there and give it my best shot, and I know you're going to have that fun.
Yes, absolutely. Daniel asks, what is your favorite part about playing with the Suns?
I think we got a team that gets along pretty well. I mean, this is my first year in the NBA, so I don't really know what to compare it to. But a lot of times you hear coming in, it's like you got a lot of guys in kind of different stages of life, and you don't have that same togetherness that you had in college, is what I heard a lot of. But I think we got kind of a younger team, and we get along real well, and I think we spend time together off the court, and there's not anybody on the team that I feel is too distant, and everybody's easy to talk to, and I think that's been a great part of the season so far.
Yeah, I can feel that too with this group of guys. You guys just are really good young men, and I think that it makes it a lot easier for you to build those relationships and then to see it translate pretty much everywhere throughout basketball and just the life around it for you guys.
Most definitely.
Shout out to y'all. Brian wants to know, what's your favorite video game?
My favorite video game is probably FIFA.
Okay. Pretty good at it?
I think I used to be, but for some reason I've just been getting worse at video games, worse and worse and worse. And my little brother's starting to beat me in Madden and 2K, and I'm on my way out. And me and Mikhail played FIFA on the plane one time on the little Nintendo. And he whooped me. And I'm like, dang, what went wrong?
Richard asked, how do you see yourself using your influence as a professional athlete?
That's a
little bit deep.
That's a deep
I like
one.
it.
That's a very deep one. I guess I always try to kind of be a positive role model. I try not to get myself into too much trouble. And one thing that I've always tried to do is kind of keep God first. And I know that can get kind of tough in certain stages when especially in transitions, when like, so for example, like when I was in college, like, I had my Bible study group, my church that I went to with my teammates and all that, but when you get to a new place and everything's new, sometimes it can be a little bit too easy to get away from that. And so I always want to keep that first and make that known.
Well, within that transition, the next question was from Steven, and he wants to know what was the hardest part of the transition from college to the NBA. So have you been able to navigate that space and, find a church and a group around here in Phoenix?
I'm working on it still, but I think the hardest part of the transition actually overall is just the change in schedule.
Okay.
Because all the travel, all the games, you kind of get locked in on them, like really, really locked in on them to the point where like you don't really know what day of the week it is. You don't really pay attention to much that's going on outside. So finding a balance is definitely a tougher thing. And when those games keep coming around, it's just easy to get kind of lost in it. And at a certain point, I was struggling to make shots a little bit more than I would like to have. And just kind of getting through that and refocusing back in and dealing with, just the amount of games is something that is definitely an adjustment and something that I'm getting the hold of as we go along.
Well, Daniel wants to know what your daily routine looks like. So within all of the travel and the craziness of an NBA career and season, what does your day-to-day kind of look and feel like?
Before I get started, I want to, warm up well. So a lot of, work on my hips, on my shoulder, legs, anything that really needs it on that certain day. But just a lot of treatment, correctives to get myself in a place that I want to be when I go out there. And then getting with the coaches, getting shots up, watching film, and then, just having conversations. That's usually how it goes. It goes treatment, maybe a lift or shots or something, film, and then into practice or into a game. And it's pretty similar each day.
All right, this one's a fun one. Ben asked, if you were stranded on a desert island, what would be the 3 things you could not live without?
If I was stranded on a desert island, is anything off limits?
No.
Well, can I bring a friend?
Absolutely. I think
bring a
I
friend.
would need a friend too.
I would bring a friend. That's one. I need like tools. I'm gonna use that as one.
Okay.
Like to get food
Like a
with,
full solid
or
toolbox.
to defend myself with. Yes,
Okay.
a full solid toolbox. And then 3, I don't really know what's off limits here, but dang. Maybe something to cook with,
Okay.
like a pot.
All right. So you're
Or
actually
pans.
genuinely thinking
Like
about
I'm trying
this.
to survive.
I
I'm not
appreciate
gonna say
the
like
thought behind this.
I'm not gonna say like I want my cell phone,
Right.
Because then I'm not gonna have no service out there or no Wi-Fi.
Probably
What's that
not.
gonna do for me?
And
Nothing.
who's paying for the bill?
Nobody.
If you're on an island.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So I
so-
would want a friend, like tools
Okay.
to defend myself with, or to like
Build
with,
stuff.
and
yeah.
like stuff that I can cook with. So I think those last 2 kind of go hand in hand.
I think
I just
you
need
and
a
your
survival
friend.
kit.
I was gonna say
I
I
need a
think you and your
survival
friend are
kit.
gonna survive this stay on a
Oh
desert
no,
island
I'm
for
changing
sure.
the one.
Wait, which one?
I want more clothes. I want extra clothes.
Well, which one are you replacing then?
Well, can I just put tools? Like, can I make that all inclusive? Can I put like cooking tools in there too?
Yes, I'll allow it.
Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
extra clothes.
Okay,
Thank
deal.
you.
Chris wants to know, who is your favorite football team?
Oh, my favorite football team is the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
And I'm a diehard Bengals fan.
Okay.
Through thick and thin. Who day, we're gonna come back. It's funny because I'm from Pittsburgh, and everybody's a Steelers fan in
Right.
Pittsburgh. But my dad is from down south, and he did not like the Steelers growing up. So when I was little, he kind of convinced me not to like them.
Okay.
And then the Bengals had Chad Johnson, who had C. Johnson on the back of his jersey. I'm like, oh my God, that's me. So I got a bunch of those jerseys when I was little. and then just became a diehard Bengals fan, and that was probably like 16 years ago, 17 years ago.
All right, nice.
Been going
Thick
strong.
and thin,
We
all the
haven't
way
won a
through.
playoff game yet in those 16 years, but one is coming.
It's
I promise
coming.
you, it's coming.
We have faith. And last one I got for you, Leander wants to know who is your favorite Suns player of all time?
My favorite Suns player of all time. I'm gonna have to say.
This is always a hard question.
It is, because there's so many directions I
There
could go.
are, and there's so many
there's
great
and there's people
players.
that I haven't really had the chance to watch in person, like Walter Davis.
Exactly.
Who's a UNC guy, and is the all-time leading scorer. But I haven't really been able to. I never was really able to watch him unless like a historic game comes in. But from the people I've watched, it'd be Steve Nash.
Okay,
He was
that's
always.
a solid choice.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people pick him, but he was incredible in his years here for sure.
Well, Cam, thanks for hanging out with us and answering some fan questions. This has been NAU Mailbag. We'll see you guys next time.